She ready, we speak with the glow. Planting big seeds now, watch how we grow. From the mic to your soul, we changing the room. Bestie power poppin', she ready to bloom.
Welcome to another episode of She Ready to Bloom. Today we're definitely talking about God is not ghosting you. I promise you, sis. The power of divine delays. A lot of times we feel like, especially we use this word ghosting all the time, right? Like, oh, he ghosted me, she ghosted me. But in actuality, sometimes a ghost is just a divine delay. Doesn't mean it's not going to spin the block and come right back. Maybe it's not going to come back because sometimes that's for our better, for the betterment of us. Even though we don't always like to accept or acknowledge that really is how God be working and moving on our behalf. And I will tell you that because there was a time in my life I felt like God ghosted me too. A lot of times, especially when we're in a season of uncertainty, we're not sure what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and we're praying, we're fasting, we're believing. We hitting all of the revivals, y'all. We ain't no stops, all gas, no brakes. And we're like, God, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. Why can't I hear you? And I will tell you that in the season of quietness is definitely a very trying season, but it's a truly divine appointed season. I did not realize how much I needed to ensure that I just needed to sit in a space of a divine delay. I wanted to do so many things. I was just, I would say, not say frustrated, but aggravated with quietness. And anybody who knows me, I don't even watch TV, y'all. I literally do. I have one TV in my house and it's in the living room and that's it. So I'm a music person. I don't mind sitting in the quiet and stillness of time because I'm a thinker. And so I like to just kind of be in a space and just absorb everything around me. But when life is lifing and you don't know what your next is, that is not a time we want to experience a divine delay. It's like, God, I need to hear what you're saying. I need to hear it now, and I need to hear it loud and with clarity, because we just want to be able to move. But I will tell you, like in a 9-month season of not knowing what my next was, embracing I do not know, that divine delay was truly, I personally felt like God had just ghosted me. But now on the other side of that divine delay, I can look back and appreciate it because I didn't understand it then. But like the seasoned folks would say, keep living. You'll understand it better by and by. So I want to talk about a spiritual waiting room. A lot of times, when we're in those divine delays, I like to refer to it as a spiritual waiting room because that's literally what we're doing. We're waiting to hear something from God. We're waiting to know what our next is. So what do you do when you're in the spiritual waiting room? That's when the scripture talks about, don't get weary in well doing. And so in that waiting room, there are times when I experienced a lot of real moments of sadness, moments of uncertainty, unbelief, not really truly trusting in what I knew would come out on the other side. So I just want to talk about, what do you do when you're in your spiritual waiting room? When you have your real moments, how do you get past those real moments? I often tell people that's why it's important to understand who you have in your circle. The people that will speak life into you when there's no life left in you, at least you don't feel like there is. The person that will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. The person that knows how to speak into you to get you to move when you want to be stagnant, when you want to be stuck. As they say, the person that can motivate you to give you the ability to shake the dust from your foot and keep going, knowing that there is something greater that waits for you on the other side. So when you're in your spiritual waiting rooms, make sure you check what the things that you allow in versus the things that you keep out. So the things that we have on the inside, the things that we keep out, sometimes we need to let those things in, and the things in, we need to let those out. So making sure you have a measuring stool to understand what is it that you specifically need in that waiting room, how to stay obedient when you're feeling overlooked, how to make sure that you are aligning yourself in a constant flow. because sometimes our alignment, we try to get ahead of it. But sometimes God creates that divine delay to slow you down, because if he does not slow you down, sometimes you arrive to a point that you're not even mature enough to handle, and then you'll fool around and mishandle it the wrong way. Intended for it to be a blessing for you, now you forfeited the opportunity, because now you have a learning curve that you have to make up the delta for in order to truly get the fulfillment out of it. I often tell people, Lord, don't let me arrive at a place too soon, because I don't want to mishandle it, and then now I have to learn a lesson that was never intended for me to learn, and now it slows down my momentum. Being able to truly trust the process. I often tell people we trust God with his power, with his provision, but do we trust the plan? Because sometimes his plan doesn't look the way that we want it to look like. It doesn't align properly in our eyes. But that's why he also says that eyes haven't seen and ears haven't heard, neither has it entered into the heart of man the good things that he has in store for you. So if he's already told you that, you can't even see the plan that he's created for you because it's bigger than you. And he also reminds us that our ways are not his, and vice versa. So if he's already told us we can't see it, he's already told us that our ways are different, why do we truly try to figure it all out and we get discouraged when we don't have an answer? Because the answer is truly in the divine delay. He's going to make sure that while we wait, that we pray, that we prepare, but also that we pivot. Because there will be pivotal moments that you have to make. But if you're not praying and if you're not preparing yourself, you're going to miss the pivot, and or you won't even see or recognize the pivot when it needs to happen. So again, shutting our ears and turning our eyes from the things that don't align with what we're trying to do. So therefore, let me focus on the things I should be focusing for in my preparation season, because when the pivot comes, I want to make sure that I'm prayed up, I have enough things stored up, and I prepared properly so I can pivot in the divine timing, in that divine delay. So reminding us that it's not that he's ghosted us. It's simply he's creating a divine delay so we'll be better prepared and equipped for what he has waiting for you on the other side. So my waited, weeping, and then I won. I often tell people we all have a story or a testament of our waited, when we wept, and then we won. And I can tell you that I've waited for almost 2 years. I've wept many a days that most people didn't know about, but right now I'm in my winning season. And I want to encourage you through the life that I live and the shores and the episodes and the things that I share and entrust with you, that allows you to understand that as you wait, you might weep. But even when you're done with all of the weeping, you will win on the other side. Habakkuk 2:3 reminds us that though it tarries, wait for it, because in the end it will come. And stay encouraged. Know that there's so many things that we can pull and grab hold to that would just help us charter a life of victory, and it will be there for you on the other side. So in our moment of reflection, as you go throughout this week, I want you to think about God's silence is strategy. It's not an absence. He's always there. He's always strategizing. So in the quiet, in the stillness of time, know that is not an absence of him. He's definitely present in the silence. A lot of times we just need to drown out the noise. And sometimes our lives are so busy, so filled with noise, things that amount to nothing, that has no value. I often tell people, even though it's a petty moment for me, when I don't remember something, the first thing I tell people is, oh, that's not value added. But in reality, sometimes I don't remember. But the truth of the matter is, it probably isn't value added, because when I go back and I look back over whatever it was, it would have distracted me from what I was focused on. I would have given time to that I should have been given to someone else, because God was strategizing in the silence and I didn't need a distraction. The divine delay was at its appointed time. So one of the things I want to give you a challenge today is create a list of all the things that you're waiting for. And what can you do now to position yourself to be praying about it properly, preparing for it, just in case God give you a pivotal opportunity so you don't miss it. So don't forget, create the list of what you're waiting for. And what can you do now? Because as I tell you, we can't worry about yesterday. Yesterday's already gone. Tomorrow's not here yet. But in our now, there's some things that we can do. And if we do them right, When the pivotal moment comes, we'll be able to realize that, hey, God didn't ghost me. He truly created a divine delay that I needed. So at the end of this, just hashtag me divine delays and hashtag God is not ghosting. He's ever so present. So again, thank you today for your time. We know that you could be doing anything else with it, but you chose to share it with She Ready to Bloom. And we want you to know that as we bloom, we want you to bloom. So go bloom.
Now this is a story, come close, make room. About two boss babes who ready to bloom. One from the boot, that's Louisiana pride. Army boots lace, got that strength worldwide. Other from Zim, yeah, hand steady with grace. Saving lives daily, got that goddess pace. Two different roots, but the vibe same tune. Now they co-host and She Ready to Bloom.